What's up, guys? Coach Jimmy here from Modern Athlete Strength. We're continuing our series here on program design and going over an Excel template to show you guys another structure to a total body lifting plan. Today, we're going to cover a 3-day total body split. It's slightly different than the previous two that I've covered. So I'm going to get into it here. So just like the previous, there's always going to be some sort of warm up and prehab. Again, this is up to you guys, what tools you have in your toolbox, what equipment you have access to, what the goals of the program are. But this is just an example of something that I use. So always going to start something up here on day one with increasing the core body temperature. It could be low level, low impact cardio. It could be jump rope, something to get the heart rate up. Then we go into some sort of lower body mobility, some sort of lower body activation, some sort of upper body mobility, upper body activation. You could also throw ankle mobility, knee stability, things like that. Lower body mobility would be some sort of, whether it's 90-90 hip rotations, whether it's a couch stretch for the hips, things like that. Activation would be something like a lateral band walk, single leg glute bridge. For upper body mobility, this could be T-spine mobility. This could be banded dislocates for the shoulders. Upper body activation could be anything from band pull-aparts, push-ups, things like that. Ankle mobility, self-explanatory, but like a half kneeling ankle mobilization. Knee stability would fall into something like band terminal knee extensions or band TKEs. And then finally, core stability, which would be some sort of bracing work before you get into your main movements. Okay. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. There's a lot of different ways you can warm up. I just like providing structure, and then it's up to you guys as the practitioner or somebody who's just into your own training and looking for something different. It just gives you some more options here. Okay. So we're going to cover now the meat of the program. So it's a 3-day split. Every day is going to start with something explosive or total body. So if you follow in this category right here, so the A1 block is explosive. That could be any Olympic variation. That could be plyometric variations. That could be kettlebell variations, landmine variations, things like that. So Olympic variations, that could be hang cleans, power cleans, snatches, push presses, push jerks, things like that. It's up to you, whatever the goals of the program are, whatever you're trying to get yourself or your athlete to by the end of the program, whatever progressions you're trying to get. But that is the category there. Again, like the previous 2 series I covered, anywhere from 3 to 10 sets. Here, we're going anywhere from 1 to 6 repetitions. Again, it is an explosive movement, so we're not trying to go high volume. So again, with an explosive hang clean, typically you're not going to do more than about 6 reps on the high end. Most of the time, the smooth spot is anywhere from between 3 and 5 repetitions. Okay. I'm going to show you an example with actual exercises in the template as we progress through this. But right now, I'm just showing the categories. Okay. So that's your explosive category right there. It's going to be paired with an anti-extension exercise. Anti-extension, that's going to be plank variations. That could be ab wheel, things like that. And typically, if it's a plank hold, you're going to progress based on time versus repetitions, like another exercise that requires repetition. So in this case, first 2 weeks are 4 sets of 30 seconds. And then the last 2 weeks are 5 sets of 40 seconds. Okay. Just showing progression over time there. Okay. As we move down, we get into our lower body main movement. That could be a squat variation, deadlift variation, could be unilateral as well. And again, depending on your goal, anywhere from 3 to 10 sets, 1 to 12 plus repetitions, depending on the time of year or the phase that you're in. If you're going more hypertrophy or muscle growth, it's going to be at a higher rep range. If you're going for more strength or power, it's going to be on the lower rep range scale. Okay. There, I have it paired with some sort of lower body mobility or activation. So that could be hip or ankle mobility or glute activation. Because again, the glutes are a prime mover for the squat or the deadlift or any lower body movement. So just turning on the glutes, posterior chain prior to getting into whatever the main movement you select is. Okay. Moving on from there, we have our upper body main movement, which would be a bench press variation. Could be a pull-up variation. Could also be unilateral upper body variation there. It's paired with an upper body pull. Upper back variations that could look like a band face pull, band pull apart. Nothing too fatiguing that's going to affect your performance on the bench press or whatever your main movement is, but it is paired together. So that's where you see C1 and C2. Anywhere, again, depending on the phase of the program, anywhere from 4 to 12 reps, 12 plus reps, whatever you're looking to do there. Okay, progressing down, lower body posterior chain, upper body posterior chain, grip, arms, and neck. Okay, more of your accessory type work. Lower body posterior chain is very important. So that could be an RDL variation or some sort of hamstring. Upper body posterior chain similar to what is paired up in C2. So anything upper back wise would go there, and then grip arms or neck. So it could be plate holds, it could be bicep curls, tricep push downs, or some sort of neck variation. So every day is the same structure, but you would just switch the exercises up. So it's not like every day, just because it's explosive lower and upper, doesn't mean the exercise is the same every day, but that's just the structure. So that covers day 1. Day 2 would follow the same structuring. So the warm up and the mobility would be the same, but then you would give a different variation for your explosive movement. So it would be if you're doing hang cleans on day 1, you're probably not going to do hang cleans on day 2. It could be clean pulls or some variants of an Olympic movement, or even a plyometric kettlebell variation or landmine variation. It's paired up with anti-lateral flexion. So that would be the category of side planks, suitcase holds, things like that would fall into the anti-lateral flexion category. Okay. Our lower body main. So if you back squat on day 1, this could be maybe a deadlift variation on day 2 as your lower body main. And then again, 3 to 10 sets, anywhere from 1 to 12 plus repetitions, paired up with either hip, ankle mobility, or a glute activation, something like that, to prime you for whatever that main movement is for the lower body. Okay, moving down. Again, now it's into our upper body again, structured the same way. This is our C block. So this would be your bench press variations, your pull-up variations, or your unilateral upper body variations would be different from your day 1 exercise. And same thing with the upper body pull. It would be a different upper back. So if we did band pull aparts day 1, maybe this is a dumbbell reverse fly, maybe this is Y's, T's, and W's, things like that, paired up with your pressing variation or your pulling variation. Okay, so that's that. Then same as day 1, you would just vary the exercises. So lower body posterior chain, upper body posterior chain, and then grip arms and neck to finish off. Okay, so that covers day 2. And then day 3 would be the exact same thing. And I'm going to show you an example of the program here in a second. But starting with an explosive movement, then a lower body movement, and then an upper body movement, and then your accessory work for your posterior chain. Okay. So unlike the tier system where the total body and the lower body and the upper body rotates each day, this stays the same each time. So you're fresh for that explosive movement. This could be good for somebody with less experience training. Could be also used for somebody who's advanced as well. It's just whatever your belief system is, whatever you buy into, but just another tool in the toolbox as far as template design and structure. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of what a program could look like, but now with actual exercise and percentages in here. So day 1, after you do your warm up, then it would go, your explosive movement would be a hang clean. I have 5 sets of 5 at roughly 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max for that. And then it's paired up with a plank. Again, just a bracing movement. It's not very fatiguing. It's not going to affect your performance on your main movement, but those two are paired up together. Okay, so that would be your A block here, your explosive with your core. Your B block would be your main lower body movement, which in this case is a back squat. 5 sets of 5, again, 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max. I'm going to get into future presentations. I'm going to get into more of the weeds as far as actual percentages and how you can progress throughout a 4-week plan. I'm just giving you a range here. Okay. So your back squat paired up with an ankle mobility to get you in a better position for the squat. And in this case, because it's a hold, I have time progression. So sets of 15 seconds all the way across. Okay. So that covers the B block. Then the C block would be bench press, same as the squat as far as percentages and sets and reps. You have your 5 sets of 5 at 70 to 80% roughly. And then this is paired with your upper body pull, which would in this case be your 1-arm dumbbell row, 5 sets of 10 repetitions, just paired up back and forth there. Okay. That covers the C block. Then the D block, I have dumbbell RDL to shrug, 3 sets of 10. Band pull aparts is your upper body posterior chain, 3 sets of 15. And then go into your grip work, which in this case would be plate holds, 3 sets of max time. So basically holding bumper plates for as long as you can. And that would cover day 1. Day 2 would be at the top here. So hang clean pulls. So day 1, we had hang clean. Day 2 would be hang clean pulls, 5 sets of 5. So now you're not catching the bar. Now you're just doing the triple extension, just the pull. So 5 sets of 5, roughly 70 to 80%. And in this case, it would be an anti-lateral flexion movement, which would be a dumbbell suitcase hold. So holding 1 dumbbell for time. Okay. In this case, I have 4 sets of 15 seconds, progressing to 5 sets of 20 seconds. So that covers your A block. Your B block, on day 1, we did back squat. On day 2, we're doing a deadlift here. Same percentages, 5 sets of 5 at 70 to 80%, paired up with 90-90 hip rotations. So just getting the hips mobile for the deadlift. So that covers the B block. The C block, going into your upper body main, we did bench press on day 1. On day 2, we're doing a standing military press for that general strength, which is in the 70 to 80% range. And then that's paired with pull-ups, 5 sets till max reps. Okay. So you have a vertical push with a vertical pull there. For your accessory work, a knee dominant hamstring curl. So that would be a Nordic hamstring curl, 3 sets of 4 repetitions. That would be, so the lower body posterior chain, upper body posterior chain, prone reverse flies, 3 sets of 15 seconds. And then I have neck flexion and extension for 3 sets of 15 each. So again, even though the category is the same, the variance of exercises is different each day. So that covers day 2. Day 3, at the top, going into a power clean, 5 sets of 5 at roughly 70 to 80%. So now you're pulling from the floor. Instead of day 1, you're doing it from a hang and a catch. Day 2, you're just doing the pull. Day 3, pulling from the floor. Again, this is very general. This is not taking into consideration the progressions to get to a power clean. Obviously, you wouldn't power clean somebody who's never touched a bar before, but you could absolutely still dial this back to whatever your population is. That is paired with a anti-rotation exercise, which in this case would be a half kneeling Pallof press. So I have it based on time here. So 4 sets of 15 seconds each, and then progressing to 4 sets of 20 seconds each side. We had our lower body main. Day 1 was back squat. Day 2, deadlift. Then I throw a unilateral variation in. So this is a barbell reverse lunge, 5 sets of 5 each leg. And then that's paired with a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Okay. Just again, hip mobility paired up with a lower body main movement. Okay. Upper body main. Day 1 was bench. Day 2 was military press. Day 3, I throw a close grip bench in, and that's 5 sets of 5. All right. Paired with an upper body pull. That would be a chest supported dumbbell row, 5 sets of 10 repetitions. Again, a push and a pull there. And then going into the accessory work, we have reverse hypers. If you have access to it, great hip dominant posterior chain exercise. I have 3 sets of 10. Upper body posterior chain, banded face pulls, 3 sets of 15. And then in this case, I have bumper plate farmer's carries. So holding bumper plates, walking for a set distance or time. In this case, I have 3 sets of 25 yards. Okay. So now just breaking down the template, 3 days total body, but the structure of the template is the same. The exercise order is the same, but the variance of exercise would be different if you decide that this template you like. The biggest thing is just varying the exercises day to day. So again, definitely a great total body 3-day split. Again, it allows for, let's say this is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday split. You could do conditioning Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You can even add extra accessory work if you wanted to on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday as well for things you may not have hit on these main 3 lifting days. But this is the main meat and potatoes of the program. You're covering your core, you're covering your mobility, you're covering your explosive movements, your lower body movements, your upper body movements, and your posterior chain every single day. Okay. So just another tool in the toolbox when it comes to structuring a training week and XL program design. So again, if you like this template, I'm going to be putting these templates together out there for you, and I'm going to continue this series. I'm going to slowly add more and more as far as more pieces of the puzzle in creating your own training program or for yourself or somebody else. But that covers the 3-day total body, explosive lower upper body template. All right. Hopefully you guys like this series. If you have any more further questions, you guys can reach out to us at Modern Athlete Strength now on Instagram for any follow-up questions. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much.